let's talk about SymphonyAM. Can you tell us about the company?
Sure. So the mandate of SymphonyAM is, if we were going to reinvent media measurement and advertising effectiveness, what would it look like? So as a company right now, we are focused on cross-media measurement, innovative solutions for cross-media measurement. The way that we look at the industry is measurement of each individual media, with the possible exception of mobile, isn't broken. It works. There's flaws, but for each individual media, there's a solution. When you start talking about cross-media, and when you start talking about mobile, the solutions get less good. So we have developed a set of tools and technologies that we think will do essentially two things. One, make credible, reliable, commercially acceptable cross-media measurement a reality. And two, as part of that, make mobile advertising effectiveness, both display and search, again, a commercial reality. We do other things, but that's what I'm focused on. So to that end, we've started with building some core technologies. The core technologies start with the smartphone. The reason we start with the smartphone is, number one, it's an individual device, meaning it's sort of really unique in that people carry their smartphone almost wherever they go, even in the house. Number two, smartphones are extremely powerful computers. There's an awful lot you can do with a smartphone, measurement-wise. And number three, they're very environmentally aware. They have microphones, they have light sensors. There are ways of ingesting information about what's surrounding them. So we started with the smartphone, and we said, well, we want to measure, for starters, what's going on in the mobile device. And we built some really unique technology to measure what apps people are using, how much time they're spending on the device. And what's unique about it is that one of the things that we're excited about is we have built apps that will run in the background on Android and iOS devices without user intervention, will run in the background indefinitely. And that's been a tough putt, right? Smartphones are designed to kill off apps that aren't doing anything. So keeping them alive without destroying battery life or without user intervention sort of contravenes what they're designed to do, but we figured out a way to do it without impacting the user experience. So we're pretty excited about that. So that's number one. And we have a meter which says, oh, look how many people are using these particular apps and how long they're using it for. And that's great and cool and different. The next thing we said is, well, we can use that capability to do some other things. And the other thing we started doing is what's called automatic content recognition. We said, well, we can listen for sound signatures, kind of like Shazam, Into Now, any of those things, and then match it against a database of TV programs and say, what show was this person watching? What TV show was this person watching right now? And we actually have in our app, every minute it takes a sound sample and matches it against a TV show and says, okay, our best match says you were watching How I Met Your Mother, you were watching the presidential debate, and that gets logged and sent to us. So right there, we have on a device that person's carrying around, we have a pretty good idea of what TV show they were watching, and a pretty good idea of what apps they're using. The next things we're doing is we're looking at saying, well, mobile web is also important. There's streaming video, there's website usage, there's streaming radio, all of that. We want to understand that consumption as well too, right? Because people watch content on their TV screens, they watch it on their tablets. We want to understand all of that. So we've developed technology called using a VPN, virtual private network, which allows us to sniff the traffic coming in and out of a device, tablet, smartphone. This is all done, by the way, we can talk about it. Our panelists are fully aware of what we're doing, and there's multiple opt-ins. So now we have the ability to track what content's being consumed on a device, what apps are being used, as well as TV. And the final bits of the puzzle for us are, number one, social media. That was actually an early solution. When we have our panelists sign up with us, we say, oh, will you connect with us on Facebook? Will you connect with us on Twitter? And we use the same little blue buttons that you see all over the web. And we get what's called a token, which allows us to connect with Facebook and say, hi, can you tell us everything you know about this particular token? And they say, sure, here it is. And we get up-to-date information about not just their profile, but what things on Facebook they like, what products, what pages, how many times they comment on something, how many times they post a status message. We even could get the text of that stuff, but at the moment we're not using it. The final bit of the puzzle is online. And we left online for the end because there's lots of ways to do online. That wasn't a tough putt. Like, doing mobile wasn't clear. Doing TV wasn't clear. We wanted to make those hurdles first. And we've now got a line of sight to a very, what we think is a really powerful online solution as well. So we'll have this true single source panel where we are measuring exposure to TV, mobile video, mobile web, mobile apps, online, and social media. And so from a technical perspective, that's great. And then it becomes a question of sort of, but what are you selling me? What are we making out of that? And that's where we've been focusing a lot of our efforts now.